G'day to everyone. I'm at my favourite detecting farm yet again for another hunt with my E-Trac. I keep finding good stuff here, so I just keep coming back. This morning I'm detecting this area, which was apparently once an old house site. I haven't been on here before, so I'll see how I go. On my last visit here I detected the other side of the fence and found 2 coins, one of which was a $17.99 halfpenny, and that's my oldest coin found here so far. So I've got some good expectations for some coins on this side of the fence today. This patch of growing bulb plants must be where the old garden was, and it hides a few old rabbit burrows, so I'll just have to watch out when I'm walking around here. After digging some junk targets, here's the first decent find. Looks like part of a brooch. Next decent signal, and an old spoon handle. Here's a big buckle this time. After watching some of the UK detecting videos on YouTube and seeing all the flint that they have to try and dig through, I feel spoilt digging into this lovely damp sandy soil here. And here's another buckle. And a complete spoon this time. And here's the first button for today. This looks like part of a small locket or pendant or something like that. That's interesting. Well, I'm a bit disappointed. I've been going here for about 2 hours and no coins yet. But it looks like that's about to change, because here's today's first coin. It looks like it could be a sixpence of some sort. Not sure, but I reckon it might be William IV. So it's an old one. Moving on, here's a big buckle. And it's a bit fancier than a normal one you find. Well, it's turned out to be another lovely sunny day in paradise. The only thing that's not so perfect is the interference to the E-Trac I'm getting from the electric fence when I get too close to it. Oh well, you can't have everything. Ah, a copper coin. A Victorian penny. And it looks like I might have given it a bit of a scrape with my shovel. Another good signal right next to it. And here's another Vicky penny. And yet another one close by. Here's a spoon this time. Those 3 Victorian pennies were together over there, and over here, another great signal. For those into numbers, 1246 is really good for a coin. And here it is, but it's not a Vicky penny this time, it's a bit smaller. I'm not really sure, but I suspect that it might be a George III halfpenny. There's a willy wagtail over there, with some cockies in the trees above. No need to bother digging this one. It looks like the edge of a modern 5-cent coin, but it's a lovely little 1873 threepence in great condition. Looks like I've just found another Victorian penny. Oh well, it's about time for a break and some lunch. Okay, lunch is over and I thought I might spend some time searching around the trees next to the entrance track to the property. And it didn't take long to get a good signal. And yes, this looks like it might be another Victorian penny. Across the other side of the track now. And here's a little threepence. And that looks like Queen Victoria. My second Vicky threepence for the day. And close by, yes, it looks like another Vicky penny. And I reckon this is another sixpence. And it looks like it might be Edward VII. Another penny. It might be an Aussie one this time. And about 6 inches away, another Aussie penny. And not far from that, a halfpenny this time. So that's 6 coins I've just found in this small area. Moving on now. Here's another Victorian penny. And this one's in fairly good condition. Just wandering along in amongst the trees now. And here's a very crusty medallion. I recognise the shape, and over the years I've detected a few of these, but this is the worst condition one that I've found. Moving on, and another good signal. There's the imprint of a coin. And here's the coin. I'd say it's another Vicky penny. And about a foot away, and here's another one. From out of this hole came this fork. It doesn't look that old, but it was a spade depth down, about 7 to 8 inches, so it must have been there for a while. I'm moving into the area beside where the old footy oval used to be. I've detected part of this area in the past and found some Aussie pre-decimals. Perhaps I might find a few more today. Then out came this big old copper coin. And I reckon I've just found a cartwheel penny. I've just beaten the 1799 halfpenny from last hunt by 2 years for age, as I think these are all dated 1797. And as far as Australian found coins go, they don't get much older than this. Very close by, and another great signal. Here's the coin imprint. Now I just need to find the coin. Ah, here it is. And it looks like another old one. I'd say it's a George III halfpenny. Don't you just love the greenish patina on these old coins? There's a lot of iron in the ground around here, so I suspect that there may have even been an old building here once. Nearby, out pops this little Aussie pre-decimal threepence. And next up, here's a shilling. I just can't get over how much this farm keeps producing. Oh well, the afternoon's getting on now, and it's time to head back to the ute. And how many times has this happened? Walking along, nearly back to the ute, and a good signal stops you in your tracks. And yes, it's yet another Victorian penny. I emptied the coins into a jar before I left for home, and I've done surprisingly well today. Okay, a brief review of the finds. First up, today's most prolific finds, the rubbish. Now that that's out of the way, onto something a bit better. Here's the 4 buckles from today. A selection of cutlery, or parts thereof. A best solid eyelet button. Strangely, this was today's one and only button. On previous hunts here, I've come home with lots of buttons. Also, strangely, I didn't find even one musket ball today. That's another common item I've found from previous hunts here. Onto the coins. Aussie ones first. Just look at the corrosion on these two 1940s kangaroo pennies. I think I heard once that the acid leached into the soil from rotting gum leaves is extremely corrosive to copper coins. There might be something in that, as generally these coins found beneath trees are in worse condition than those found away from them. Here's 2 earlier pennies, one dated 1911 and the other 1936, and a 1942 halfpenny that are in better condition. Onto the Aussie silvers, a 1928 threepence. I've given all today's silver coins a bit of electrolysis treatment, which to different degrees can really make them shine. And a 1916 shilling. Now onto the English coins, and I'm sure you've all gathered by now that the English coins I found today were dominated by Victorian pennies. I came home with a total of 8 of these. These are all dated from the 1860s to the 1880s. A couple in reasonable condition, but most are fairly corroded. If you can remember back, this was today's first coin, and it's a William IV sixpence, but unfortunately too worn to see a date on it. 2 Victorian threepences, one 1873 and the other 1874. And here's a lovely little 1902 Edward VII sixpence. This is the very corroded coin I found at the old house site. I gave it some electrolysis, which probably made it look worse, and my initial thoughts about it seem to be correct. It's a George III halfpenny dated 1806. Ah, the cartwheel penny. This is actually the second one I've detected. I found another one in a local park a few years ago, and although this one is very worn, it's still in better condition than the other one I found. Here's the other coin I found close to the cartwheel penny. It's another George III halfpenny, and I can just make out that it's also dated 1806. Here's the medallion. Despite my best efforts, there's no way I could clean the black crud off of it, which is a real pity. As I mentioned earlier, I've detected a few of these over the years, and these were to commemorate the opening of the first Federal Parliament in Melbourne in May 1901. Here's one without the crud. Queen Victoria and Edward VII on one side, and the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall and York on the other side. So with a total of 22 coins plus the medallion, I'm pleased with today's efforts, and I'm wondering just how many more coins there might still be there waiting for the E-Trac's coil to pass over them. That remains to be seen, I suppose. Apart from the finds, it was just great to be out enjoying the great outdoors on such a lovely day in such a beautiful part of the world. Okay, well that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll say goodbye.